Hi, this is Claire from the Claire Batista Golf Academy. Today I would like to talk to you a little bit about the senior golfer who's finding that they're starting to lose distance off the tee. Um, as we get older, we start having some physical issues. Our range of motion starts declining. We may have some back issues, some knee issues. Um, and we start seeing our distance get less and less and less. Um, Even though it seems like we're trying to swing harder at it, things are getting worse. So I'd like to talk a little bit about the setup, that an adjustment we can make in the setup, and then a couple other things we can do to get you to have some of that distance back. Um, what would happen if I'm setting up normal, if I have no issues, I would like to set up what we call square. And all that means is that my toe line is going to run parallel to my target line. And if I have no physical issues when I swing back, I make a pretty good torso turn. My hips are going to turn just a little bit. And then when I start my downswing, I actually want to start it from my lower body and then let, my hip, my legs go, my torso go, my arms go, and then the last thing that moves is the club shaft or the club head. But as we get range of motion issues, we're not able to make those turns with our hip. So what we want to try to do a lot of times in setup or during the swing, we're going to allow some things to happen that we normally wouldn't do if we have normal range of motion. So again, this is definitely for the person that does have those issues. And we find that a lot with senior clients, but also younger people that have back issues and hip issues. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the setup. So we talked about the feet being square, setting up square. And what I'm going to ask you to do, because we want to create a little bit more hip turn in the backswing. If we can get a little more hip turn in the backswing, that club can go back a little bit further and we can store some power at the top of the backswing. So when we unwind, we have some energy. So what I'm going to ask you to do, and try this out, it'll feel a little weird at first, but you may find that it feels a lot more comfortable, especially in the backswing. So once we set up, the ball's going to be off the inside of your left heel if you're a right-handed golfer. And what we're going to do is take your right foot, again, if you're a right-handed golfer, or your trail leg, and we're going to go ahead and toe out, and we're actually going to drop that foot back a little bit. So what that's starting to do, it's already getting my right hip to be able to turn back very easily. So I'm not going to have a lot of strain on my lower back. So again, we're going to go ahead with the right foot toes out, right leg drops back. And what that will do is allow me to get that hip to start turning back. And it's actually quite comfortable. It doesn't hurt at all. So as we do that, you'll find that, oh my gosh, I can get that club back further. Now, the problem is going to be on the downswing, because we have the left foot in front, it's going to limit the turn of your left hip. But we can work around that. If we went the other way and we dropped the left foot back, that would create a little bit easier turn into the follow through, but we would be blocking you out on the backswing because that right hip would be in front and you can't turn that. So once we get comfortable with that foot back, the next thing we have to talk about is the release of the club. And it's going to be a little bit different than what we see, a 25-year-old do or the tour pros do, because we don't have the ability to get the left hip to turn, and we've kind of put you in a position where it's not going to be able to turn because we have that left foot forward. So what we want to try to start doing then is starting to feel as we come down, we are going to kind of let the club, what we're going to call release. So I'm turning my body, but I'm also letting my forearms roll over. So as I come through, I don't want to do this. I want to go ahead and let that face, turn through. So it's going to feel pretty relaxed. It should help us start creating a nice little draw. and we should get some good distance back. Okay, so if we set up square and you couldn't turn, what we'd start finding is that you really start trying to create this energy just from your arms and your torso. So I'm going to go ahead and hit one face on, then we'll get a view down the line. But what we want to do again, okay, normal setup with your ball placement. We're going to take the right foot, flare it out, and drop it back. And then I'm going to try to go ahead and let that club swing through, and I'm going to allow the club head to rotate. So when I get to about here, I want the club face pointing behind me, not up to the sky. So nice and solid, a little bit of a draw. And again, what you may find is when you follow through, you can't get all the way to that beautiful follow through that we're always talking about, but that backswing is going to create a little, or the setup in the backswing is going to create a little bit longer backswing that you can create more energy or more speed. So now we have the camera going down line, and so you'll see the setup in my legs, or my feet, my setup in my feet a little bit better this way. So I'm going to go ahead and set up. I'm going to go ahead and drop that foot back, so you can kind of see how that's going to let my right hip turn easier back. And then I have to work on getting that club to rotate or release as I come through. So there's timing that we have to develop, but I think, again, you'll find that right away you create a little more energy and get that ball to go a little bit further. I think I better do that all the time. But again, if you do those couple things, the setup and then working on the release. The other thing is always remember that you can let your head turn. You do not have to keep your head down. That's a big issue too, as we have some neck issues and some back issues, that as you set up and swing in your backswing, it's okay if your head turns a little bit, and definitely as you swing through, we want your head turning through the shot. Hope this helps. I think you find that all of a sudden you start getting your distance back. If you have any questions, please go ahead and drop a comment in the comments. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on Facebook and Instagram.